In the latest mag, we've done a massive group test with 30 different sets of flat pedals. We basically approached all of the key brands we thought, rather than just get like a couple of different sets of pedals in, we thought let's go spread nice and wide, get all the kind of gun manufacturers, get them to select one set of pedals to select, either polys or metal. And yeah, we spent probably 2 months reviewing it. Because we had so many sets, actually ended up blowing out into a bit of a mammoth feature. And so the thing we did though is we had 3 reviewers reviewing each set of pedals. Usually in a group test, you get one guy's opinion across all the product. And that may or may not relate to your opinion sitting there as a viewer or reader at home. So the point of this group test is to have every set of pedal reviewed by 3 of us. And interestingly, we've all selected sort of top 5 overall pedals, and they're all a little bit different. Now, obviously, that comes down to personal preference and what we're going after. So in this episode, we're going to chat with Blake about the 5 pedals that he's picked. But mate, before we get into that, all riders are chasing a different experience. We've got a different skill set. When it comes to flat pedals, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a mixture of all over grip. Obviously, we want a nice grippy pedal. It's no surprises there. But more than anything is the way that my shoe is going to interact with the platform of the pedal around the pins. So I'm looking for a nice big concave, so I can't actually feel the center rib of the pedal through my shoe. Whether this is done by necessarily a bigger taper through the middle rib, or maybe a thicker pedal that's actually got a higher sort of surface area around the perimeter of the pedal itself. Obviously this can be very, very tricky for some of the thinner pedals. So there's some different techniques used by companies when they're trying to, chase the really super thin pedals. But yeah, all in all, a good compromise between overall grip as well as pedal feel.
Perfect, that makes a lot of sense. And you've definitely, when you take a glance at the 5 pedals you select here, you've got a real cross section. You've got massive platform, you've got super thin profile, and then you've got some real sort of dollar for dollar bangers as well. So let's start by chatting about the pair that you've picked as that number 1, which is the DMRs.
Absolutely. So these have been my favorite pedals for a long, long time. So I came into the test with an open mind and accepting the fact that these may not be my favorite pedals coming out of this, but they still were. I've been riding the Volt pedals since they came out, I think about 12 or 13 years ago. I had one set that lasted me almost 12 or 13 years. They only gave up the Ghost a couple of months ago. But this pedal for me is the true compromise between that all-out grip and platform feel. So you can physically see the concave in the middle of the pedal there. They've got an option of different pin lengths. I always run the longer pins for the shoes that I wear. I find that gives me the best grip while still be able to slightly move my foot around on the pedal without having to fully pick it up and adjust if things go a little bit, out of place. Good compromise on weight and strength. Like I said, I had one pair of these running for 10 plus years across downhill bikes, enduro bikes, jump bikes, you name it. Rain, hail or shine, they always showed up. They were always there. So that's why I went for the Volt, the DMR Volt, to be my top pick pedal.
Interesting stuff. And one thing that's worth noting here is Blake is predominantly a flat pedal rider. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be riding flats unless racing, is that
Pretty
right?
much these days, exclusively race days, I'll throw the clips on. Still very comfortable on clips. Don't get me wrong, there's horses for courses. If I'm going somewhere where, if I'm going to go ride Stromlo, for example, probably going to throw clips on.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pedaling all day long, but for our local trails here, there's no real need for clip pedals. So yeah, pretty much exclusively a flat pedal rider these days, you would say.
Definitely knows his stuff when it comes to flats. Mate, your second choice, very, very different design to the DMRs. And the thing I noticed most about this pedal was that it's the only pedal in the entire group test that has a lifetime warranty. So if you bash these things, it snaps in half. 15 years down the track, you're getting a free set from Raceface. So pretty impressive stuff. But enough of that. Tell us about the personality of the pedal and who it's going to suit.
I've always thought that these Raceface Atlas pedals were super striking looking. They've got an amazing design. They've got the large inboard bearing there. So it's got a larger bearing than, 30% of the pedals that we've got here. So they've got a little bush on the inside with a large bearing, just butts up next to your crank arm there. We've got some big beefy pins, but they're not threaded up the whole way. So I found these to be, once again, it might sound a bit counterintuitive, but we've got heaps of grip, but these pins actually allow you to readjust your foot with your shoe on the pedal without having to lift it up completely. So for trail riding and enduro riding, I find that to be super advantageous. Like, you're not locked in like some of the other pedals out there. Really, really lightweight as well. Obviously they look killer. They come in some really cool colors. Lifetime warranty. Again, these pedals aren't cheap. They are, if you're investing in a high-end pedal, they're not cheap, but that lifetime warranty for a vulnerable part of your bike was definitely a contributing factor.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, similar in terms of visual aesthetics is the One Up, which is a Canadian company. I was super impressed with this pedal when they rocked up. We hadn't done a lot with that brand of the Maggie before. Again, quite a similar profile, just a touch lower profile actually than the Race Face. But mate, tell us a bit about how the One Up slid into your third pick overall.
So when we first actually laid hands on these pedals, like they looked really good on the photos. I've seen them around for quite a while, but when I actually got my hands and my feet on them, initially I didn't really think I was going to like them because they don't look to have that big concave profile to the platform like some of the other pedals do to the naked eye. But the feeling out on the trail was that they had quite a large concave. They've got one pedal on one pin rather on each side, right in the middle there as well. So I think that was one thing that I was feeling the pin rather than the sort of axle path on the pedal. And also they've got these sort of machined ribs through the actual platform themselves, which made a massive difference.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I found added a lot of grip to some of the poly pedals that we had. That was a massive make or break for me on the poly pedals.
So pedal outside relying on the pins.
Exactly right, exactly right. Like, it doesn't, to the finger, it doesn't feel like it would make a huge difference, but underfoot, it did make a massive difference to overall grip.
Wow, there we have the One Up. Next up, these pedals are definitely pretty exciting. We couldn't have a review without having the godfather of flat pedals, Chris Kovarek's custom signature pedal. This is obviously the Dagger from Chromate Bikes, again out of Canada. Slid into your fourth overall pick. Mate, tell us the attributes of this pedal that you dug.
So Chromag are known for, in a good way, overbuilding their products. These things, obviously we only rode them for a couple of months, but these pedals felt like they will absolutely last forever.
Yeah.
They've got nice beefy bearings in them. They haven't machined every single surface, to the 9th degree to try and save weight on the platform itself. Like, I think these things could take an absolute beating from bike to bike to bike.
Super
they would,
burly, hey?
Exactly right. Obviously they look pretty gnarly. They've got a couple more pins than a lot of the other pedals. And like the One Up, they've actually got one of the pins in the middle of the pedal there as well. Never-ending grip.
Grip galore. Hey?
Grip galore, as you'd expect. Chris Kovarek's signature pedal.
And they've actually got spaces here, so you can make them even taller.
You could make those pins longer if you wanted to.
That's pretty cool out of the box.
If I was putting them on a downhill bike, I probably would. You know what I mean? Where you just want that all-out grip. This does mean that there wasn't a whole lot of foot adjustment without taking the foot off. But in terms of just total grip, they had to be in there.
Perfect. Well, there we have it. That's the godfather of flat pedals in Australia. But if you talk about the king of flat pedals, this man right here, Sam Hill, signature nuke-proof pedal, your fifth pick, extremely popular pedal out there in the market. And yeah, up against the other 25 pedals that we reviewed, these guys have made the podium in your top 5. So tell us a bit about the sort of what you dig about the Sam Hill pedal.
So at the end of the day, they made it onto my top 5 because of the value for money, but they could have happily charged twice as much as they're retailing for, and they would still be in 5th place. Obviously, as you'd expect, Sam Hill, he's developed this pedal. Obviously, he's taken little bits and pieces from all these pedal sponsors over the years and come together with Nuke-Proof to, build his dream pedal, you would say. Like, you would assume that this is every bit and piece that Sam's ever wanted out of a flat pedal.
This is literally the pedal he runs, the exact same spec that he runs on his Enduro and his downhill bikes, right?
So just all in all, they've got miles of grip, good concave feel. They've got some nice shape on the front leading edges of the pedals, so a few rock strikes here and there. You don't feel the pedals catch up. They've got good chamfers everywhere so that they slide over things a bit better. But yeah, just value for money. Like, you cannot go past these things.
Wicked, Sam Hill, there we have it. Well, that is Blake's pick of the 5 best pedals of 2023 on the market right now. Stay tuned, we've got a couple more episodes of this series to come. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to our channel.